Hey guys, it's Maymay and I'm so excited to be guest designing for scrapbookingwithme.com this month. This is a super cool kit that they do, and they do a kit every month, and this is what was in my kit, so check it out. This is some Memento Espresso Turtle in the Dewdrop, which I think is super cool. I got some baker's twine, some sequins. Look at all these sequins in this little bag. They are so cute. This Spellbinders die set, they're called Die Delights, and they are party banners is the name of those. I love those guys. They are super cute. We'll get to those in a second. These awesome paper clips, I love them. There's an airplane, a camera, a ship's wheel, a globe, binoculars, and a hot air balloon. Super cute there. And this huge stamp. Guys, this stamp is the entire size of this page, and it's made by Do Crafts Creativity Essentials. It comes with a stamp storage folder and this big huge stamp, which I think we'll probably use today. I think we're going to utilize that. And this beautiful paper from Pink Paisley. I'm in love. This is the Pink Paisley. It says Paige Evans 01, so maybe that's it, the Paige Evans. But look, you get 2 pages of each of these great papers. They're actually thicker, like 65 pound, does it say? I think they're about 65 pounds, so they're a light cardstock, and so many colors, so many designs. We're going to go crazy with this kit. I love it. Now, I spoke with Edith, who is the owner of scrapbookingwithme.com this morning, and she says there's a couple of May kits left, but you can also get in her other kits that happen every month. So I will link her shop below. Be sure to go check her out. Now, what are we going to make today? Here is something super cool. I was sent a gift from my friend Jamie Slater, and she sent this card, which I'm in love with. It is a pocket card. This section is a pocket, okay? Then this little piece fits right inside, just like this, and see how she stamped at the top. And then this little guy was just in there for cute, just to be adorable, right? And I want to show you guys how to do this card so you can make these pocket cards for your friends and family. Lovely. Let's get started. So for this card, we need a card base that measures 8 by 5.5. It's not quite an A2 size base. We need it to be slightly shorter, so we've cut 1/2 inch off, so it's 8 by 5.5. Now we're going to score this guy. We're going to score it at 1 1/4, and then at 3 3/4, and that's going to do the scoring for the front of our card. Okay, 1 1/4, 3 3/4, and we're ready to move on with that guy. Now, using your bone folder, I'm going to go ahead and crisp up these lines. The first one is the center fold of the card here. So I'm just going to fold that and then crease it down. Then our next fold folds back over on itself like this, and I'm going to crease it into place as well. You can kind of see where we're going here, can't you? So the pocket is going to be here. Now we need that pretty border that she did on her card. I thought it was really pretty, and she used a border punch to do it. And today I'm going to use this one that I just picked up at Michael's this weekend, which is a Martha Stewart punch. See that pretty little frilly kind of doily border? And I'm going to place this card in, and I like to start on one edge so I can kind of try to get this to run about the same all the way down. So we'll just do that, and then I'll just line it up again and punch all the way down. Now you see how pretty that border punch is. I love it. So our card basically folds down and then back on itself just like this, so we have that little frilly edge. Now I want you to be able to see that edge, so we're going to do some paper matting in several places. 1, we're going to mat this area. 2, I'm going to do something decorative here, and then 3, I'm going to do something in here. Now for this section, you're not going to see all of this. You can see how this is going to cover most of this up. So I'm going to use a small piece to mat inside of here that's only going to be 2.5 by 5 1/4 inches, so it'll fit right inside of there. So now I have that piece cut to go on the inside, and I love the polka dot there. I think that will be perfect. So I just put a little glue there, and then I'm going to line this up inside of here. And I'm going to try to leave the same distance all the way around on all 3 sides. Again, not worrying about this side because it's going to get covered by our pocket that will go here. Now we can go ahead and glue this into place because that's the only thing we had to put on the inside. So I'm just going to run some glue right down the edge, just like so, on 2 sides. I wouldn't suggest using a sticky tape here, only because when the recipient gets the card, that sticky tape can sometimes grab what we've put inside and make it hard to pull a tag or something like that out. However, if you only have sticky tape, go with it. Don't stress about that, just use it. On the back of that polka dot paper I use on the inside is this cute little pattern, and I thought it would really set off that frilly border real well using the gray here. So I've cut a piece here that's 2 1/4 by 5 1/4 instead of 2 1/2. Inside was 2 1/2, this one's 2 1/4. But don't stress about that. I'll put all the measurements and all the score marks and everything on my blog, and there'll be a link to the blog in the description below. So now I'm just going to glue this guy into place. Kind of matching up the same at the top as far as like the distance and things like that, so that we have the same matte edge when we close this down. This is looking cute already and super easy. All right, now let's work on what's going to go on the inside. So this is one of the papers from the kit, and I really like this that says, "Why hello there." And I think I'm going to cut this out and make this one of the pieces that I slide into the pocket. So let's cut that guy away. I'm adding some space in this pattern section so that this will be a little bit larger of a piece to go into our pocket. I just think that's kind of cute like that. I'm going to trim that a little more because I don't like where that landed. But that's the cool thing. You can kind of make this your own little piece to put inside that pocket using that paper. Look how cute that is. I love it. However, I want it to be a little sturdier. I want to mat it and not just put this in. So here's what I'm going to do. At the top and bottom, I'm going to cut away 1/4 inch on this guy, so we can put a mat on it, another piece of cardstock. So now it's a little bit smaller, and we just need to cut a piece of cardstock to support it and go on the back side of it. So here's what I've done. I've cut that piece and another piece that's 1/4 inch larger all the way around. Now I want to show you what Jamie did. She took a die cut and cut 2 different dies and had this cute little top note die to slide into her card. So you can certainly do that and utilize your dies. I want to use the paper, so that's what we're doing. Now I think I am going to round the corners of this. I just think it'll be cuter that way. So I'm going to pull up my corner chomper from We Are Memory Keepers, and I'm going to round every corner with the 1/2 inch because that's my favorite one. I want to give you a tip here. It's always important, if you want to round both layers of your paper, to go ahead and round them before you put them together. If you don't, when you go to do this, you can only round the outside edge, and it just doesn't quite work. It doesn't get the inside edge rounded as well. So you want to make sure you round them separate before you adhere them together. Now we just glue this little page down right on top with our edge showing just like that. And this guy is now ready to slide into our card. Look how cute that is already, right? I like how it says "why." It's like, pull this out and see what the rest of it is. Now I want to work on this pretty piece and another little piece to stick inside. So you know how these pages have these cute little border edges that they always kind of add for us? Let me show you what we're going to do. I'm going to use that on this piece. I'm just going to cut it away with my paper trimmer, and I'm basically going to make myself some paper ribbon. I think this will be cute to run across that top section. So this is a piece of that strip with the flowers, and I'm going to run this the whole length of the card. I think it looks good to kind of run it all the way edge to edge. So I'm going to glue it down, and then I will trim off what I don't need. So I'm just going to run some glue down the middle here. And we're not through. I'm going to decorate this a little bit more before we're finished. I'm going to stick this to one end and run that down all the way. Then I'm just going to take my scissors and trim it off at the edge. Just like this. Isn't that cute already? I love how this is looking. I love the kind of Mod Podge of colors, how everything's kind of not matching but is matching. All right, let's put another little piece there. So I pulled out some of this baker's twine. I love baker's twine. You guys know that about me already. And I'm going to use this teal color because I don't have a lot of it on the card yet. I'm going to go ahead and just take this off of the card. I don't know how much I'm going to need, but my plan is to wrap it several times. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to stick this underneath that flap, leaving myself plenty to tie a bow with. So I've got that left over. Then I'm going to wrap this around. Just a couple or 2 or 3 times, enough for me to be able to tie a bow on this end. That looks like I'm going to get just enough. So I was able to go around it 2 full times, and when I tie it, it will end up looking like 3. So I have a couple of pairs of tweezers in my stash, and I'm going to use them to help me with this. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tweeze this little flap down just to hold that nice and secure. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my tweezers to help me tie this bow. This is a tip I learned from Amy Rasavi of Paper, Prairie, and Ink. That's her YouTube channel. It's the best tip I've ever learned, ever. Here's what you do. You start your knot for your bow, okay? You take a pair of tweezers and you just grip that knot in those reverse tweezers. It does have to be reverse tweezers so it can hold it for you, right? Then you tie your bow. The next part of the tip is don't tie the bow too tight to start. Go ahead and tie it loose and then pull it to where you want it to be and get those loops just right and then tighten it. That's one good thing about baker's twine. You can work with it loose, and then as you tighten it, it can kind of twist. So you want to make sure you don't over tighten it too soon. Then look, tighten that guy up, trim these tails, just like so. And we have a bow. Now something I like to do is put a little dot of my art glitter glue behind there and glue that bow knot into place. I just like for it to kind of stay in place on the front of whatever card I'm making or whatever project, and I love to use the art glitter glue for that. It just, that fine metal tip lets me get in there and put that dot just where I want it. Now I can take this guy out and we can glue this down. I didn't want to glue it down first in case I needed to adjust my ribbon in any way, so that's why I waited. So now I can stick this guy down to the page. So there's the front of our card. Here is our first insert for our card, and now I'm going to work on another cutesy little insert like the flower that she did for us. Now I was going to use those cute little dies that came in the kit for this, but I'm not. Now these guys can be used so many different ways. Let me show you what they look like, so when you get these you'll know exactly what you're getting. They are adorable, and you could use them for any number of card or any paper project. Aren't they adorable? I was going to use them, but then I found this page in the kit and I love the circles. So I decided to dig into my stash and pull out some circle punches, and I'm going to cut one of these guys away and use it as that cute little embellishment. So let me see what I want to use. So I decided to use this one that says Awesome Sauce. So check this out. I'm going to take my 1 3/4 inch circle punch and I'm going to punch that guy out, centering the words in the middle. So there is Awesome Sauce. How cute is that, right? Then I'm going to take a slightly larger punch, and using some paper that coordinates with my card base, I'm going to use it and make a pink circle to go around it. This punch is a 2-inch punch, by the way, so I'll have a little bit of a border around this guy, and it'll go just like that. Then we just glue these two together, just like this. And it can go inside as well. Now, one thing I'm going to do a little bit different on my card is I'm going to use one of those paper clips that came in the kit because I think these are adorable. And I think I'm going to use the camera. These are by Prima, by the way. Now that I can see it, they are by Prima, and they are adorable. Look at that little camera. I love it. So I'm going to take this little paper clip and this Awesome Sauce sentiment, and I'm going to paper clip them together with the camera, and so that will be together like that. Super cute. I love it. Now, you were probably waiting to see this guy be used, and I didn't use it in my card project today. So I want to show you this stamp because it is amazing, okay? So when you order it, it comes in its own storage sleeve. You see how it comes with a sleeve, and it is huge. I want to pull it out here and let you see how big this stamp is. Now, because I don't have an acrylic block this size, there's a couple of ways that you could use it. One would be to take like your acrylic plates from your cutting machine, your Cuttlebug or something like that, and use that as a big, huge acrylic block. Or when you peel off the backer, you can leave this piece on. This is the other piece that it sticks to. You can turn this guy up like this and ink it and then stamp. Let's do that together. So this is that espresso truffle ink that I also got in the kit. And what I'm going to do is just take it and turn it upside down and ink this stamp. Now you don't have to use every part of this stamp. You can just ink a portion that you want on your project. And if you're doing mixed media things, this would be awesome for a background stamp for a mixed media project. I'm going to pretty much ink everywhere. I may be missing some spots because I'm just kind of dabbing, but I just want you to see how I would use it. Now, I have a piece of kind of gray paper here beside me. I think it'll look cool with this image. And so I'm just going to take that paper to the stamp. I'm going to sit it down and then rub and get as much of that ink off as I can. And then when we turn this over, you'll see that we got almost a full page of stamped image. Now you could cut these guys out. You could cut this into separate pieces. You could make this the front of a book. You could do so much with this stamp. So I wanted to make sure I showed you how that guy worked and how I would use it in my own collection, because I think you'll get a lot of use out of it. So before we're completely done, I want to do a little stamping on the inside of the card here. And I'm going to take a stamp from one of my stamp sets. It's called Floral Kaleidoscope, and this is one that says I cherish our friendship, and using that espresso truffle ink, I'm going to stamp it on the inside of that little piece we're putting in. So I have I cherish our friendship, and I'm going to do one more thing. So I've been meaning to show you guys this tip in a video for a long time. This is a stitched border stamp that comes from my stamp set called Action. I love it. We're going to stamp some stitches along the edge of this card. What I'm going to do with it is lay it on my cutting mat so that I can tell that it is nice and straight along one of the cut lines there. And then I'm going to take one of my rulers and I'm going to line the other edge up on one of those edges of the inside of my ruler, touch, and then press it into place so I can get a nice straight stitch line, and it will stick to that ruler because that ruler is acrylic. Now this ruler trick is a tip I learned from my friend Nyoka Smith, and it's an amazing trick, and I used it on some cards I made for our card party recently, and I was like, you know what, I've got to show you guys how this works. Now I'm going to take that stitch line using that same ink, and I'm going to run it right out beside that sentiment, just like so, and stamp ourselves a little stitch line, and then I'm going to finish it off on this side as well. So I don't need quite as many stitches inked, just a few on the edge, and then I will just lay this little stamp into place and stitch a couple right here. Super cute. Okay, so now I have everything clipped back together. I've stamped the other side and our card is all ready to go. I just love this card. I think it's very unique and very different. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you learned something new from it. And like I said earlier, if you're interested in any of the dimensions, they'll be on my blog post that I will link below. And please go over and check out scrapbookingwithme.com. Edith has beautiful products in her store, and jump on those kits. I know how much you guys love the monthly card kits, and this would be a great one because we didn't even scratch the surface of what all we can do with that kit that we received. Thanks so much, Edith, for letting me be a guest designer this month, and thank you guys for watching. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.